I mean, I just you reminded me of a fantastic quote from Brené Brown. It says, "We will not go back to normal. Normal never was. Our pre-corona existence was not normal, other than we normalized greed, inequity, exhaustion, depletion, extraction, disconnection, confusion, rage, hoarding, hate, and lack. We should not long to return, my friends. We are being given the opportunity to stitch a new garment, one that fits all of humanity and nature." I really love that quote.
Yes, very nice.
But do you think that the pandemic has has changed our way of thinking? Because I've been kind of working on this thesis that, like, the reason that it was so hard to shake ourselves out of what had become normal was because it was essentially relentless, especially with like the 24-hour news cycle and like constantly just living in the moment of like social media with Twitter and whatever on your screen. And I kind of feel like the lockdown, maybe more so than the pandemic, actually, the lockdowns, plural, have kind of like given us this, like, I don't know, chance to take a breath and like
Mm,
reflect on
yeah,
what we want to keep and what
yeah.
the best parts of our modern society are, and what we want to reform and change. Like, do you think that that's realistic, that we have got this sort of pause and like like deep breath for air? Or
Absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I think you put it really well there. And I think an awful lot of people have felt that. This latest lockdown, of course, has been hard. The weather's been bad. It's winter. People are tired. People are lonely. But even now, you've got some some good threads emerging from the dire situation. So, like, I'm speaking to you from my home here in Norwich, and right now we're shrouded in snow. And people have been hugely enjoying time that many of them wouldn't have had otherwise, in the local parks and so forth. Building, I've seen the most amazing snowmen during this period. I've never seen such snowmen before, I swear to you. We've got this huge snow bunny very close to me. We've got this amazing, incredibly accurate snow bear. And I'm just scratching the surface here, this is, I'm keeping it light here, but the point that you're making is a very, very serious one. These things matter. Spending time in nature matters. Being able to hear the birds sing matters. Having more leisure time matters. I mean, we should have more leisure time in our society. It's crazy that so many people work 5 days, 6 days a week, or 2 or 3 jobs. This is not necessary. This is not a sane way to live. This is not how our ancestors used to live. The working week should be reduced to 4 days a week or something like that as a standard, and that could be done. And we're seeing now that it could be done if the work were shared out better. Commuting, most commuting should be a thing of the past. People can work from home. That's been shown during the pandemic. Many people who didn't realize they could can work from home. And these long commutes, they're completely unsustainable. There's no way that you can make them compatible with a climatically sane and non-climatically destroyed future. So we need to be reining back travel, especially long-distance travel, especially air travel. There were people who before this pandemic were commuting to work by air. I mean, can you think of anything more completely unbelievably insane? I'm sure you can, actually. I mean, there's innumerable insane things in our world, but a light's been shone on some of them by the pandemic, and there must be no going back. There must be no going back to how it was before. Like I say, we need to transform normal. And one of the exciting things about this horrendous experience that we're going through is it does provide us with the opportunity to make some of those changes, and some of them are being made. But more of them need to be made. One of the crucial things that people can do and should do, and I hope are doing, is think now and work now with your employees or employers or fellow workers, how you can reform your working practices to be not just more pandemic safe, and not just better from a human point of view, but better from the point of view of climate and nature. Because if we don't get that right in the long term, that's going to be the one that's going to bite us.
Thanks so much for listening. If you haven't already and you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to this podcast and to our mailing list. And don't forget, my book, Brexit, The Establishment Civil War, is now available for pre-order on Amazon. You'll find the link in the description below. Until next time, thanks so much for listening.